Landorus-Therian has been a competitive Pokemon icon for over a decade. Ever since its release in Pokemon Black and White 2, the combination of its fantastic typing, its ability to intimidate, great stats, and a wide offensive and utility move pool, this Pokemon seems to always find itself amongst the most used in competitive singles. This is a perfect competitive Pokemon. It's just so flexible, and it has this excellent combination of traits that lets it act as a solid defensive check, offensive presence, and even utility Pokemon in absolutely every generation. This Pokemon is never a dominant force in a metagame demanding responses to it. Rather, it is the response to other dominant forces. It keeps things in check and is always a buffer against offense and a way to generate value. Landorus-Therian will likely be returning to the game after the release of Pokemon Home, and it looks like this Pokemon is finally getting toned down a little bit. Landorus-Therian will be losing some of its most commonly used and powerful tools. Will these changes affect its viability and its identity as an OU mainstay? Let's take a look. Check out my second channel linked in the pinned comment for Pokemon Showdown ladder gameplay videos, and like this video and subscribe to this channel for more informative content about Gen 9 competitive singles. Despite Landorus-Therian's huge base attack stat, this Pokemon's most important options are its utility options. A Pokemon like this that is so effective at coming in defensively and getting a free turn to do something is going to want to use moves that are safe and guaranteed to generate value, like Stealth Rock or U-Turn, which is a safe move that lets you respond to whatever the opponent does and keep up momentum. Landorus-Therian is defined by how safe and reliable it is, and one of its best options is Knockoff. Before Generation 6, Knockoff was a low power attack. This move was never used as an offensive tool. It was a utility move, a very safe move to use that gave you some long-term value by removing an enemy Pokemon's held item and crippling them for the remainder of the game. In Gen 6, everything changed. They took this already good move and made it even better. They buffed its base power to 65, and if it's used against an enemy that still has a held item equipped, its power is increased by 1.5 times. This was now not only one of the best utility moves in the game, it was just one of the best dark type attacks in the game that could be used offensively. It should be obvious why this is one of Landorus-Therian's best options. On a Pokemon that can defensively switch in against such a wide array of common threats, Knockoff is not only the freest click in the world since you're now guaranteed to gain an advantage by removing an item, it also does good damage and can be used just as a dark coverage move. Losing this option is a pretty massive nerf. In general, it seems that less Pokemon can learn Knockoff now. Toxapex was another Pokemon that could very safely switch into a variety of things defensively, and then get guaranteed value with Knockoff. Now, Toxapex doesn't get Knockoff anymore either. They seem to have realized that this move was a bit too strong and risk-free, and consciously limited the amount of Pokemon that have access to it. Another option that Landorus-Therian has lost in Gen 9 is Defog, which is a move that removes all hazards from the field. This move enhanced the utility of Landorus-Therian tremendously. It's one of the reasons that having this Pokemon on a team is so common in so many generations. Hazard removal is an important box to tick when team building, and this Pokemon would provide you with that and about 20 other things as well. This is definitely a big loss for Landorus-Therian. Another good option that Landorus-Therian lost is Toxic, and he's not alone in losing this option. What was once a pretty universal status move available to a very wide array of Pokemon is now much more limited. This move was a natural fit on such a great defensive pivot, and it's another significant loss. Landorus-Therian does have one interesting new option. The new move Sandsear Storm. This is a 100 power ground type special attack with 80 accuracy and a 20% chance to inflict burn. This is a weird one. Now that you've lost your best status move, having ground stab and a form of status move from a secondary effect in one move slot sounds okay, but the low accuracy and also fairly low chance to inflict burn, on top of the fact that this is a special attack on a Pokemon with much higher physical attack, makes me doubt that this will see use over the more standard option, Earthquake. Landorus-Therian has lost a huge amount of its utility in Gen 9. Will this affect its usage? Great Tusk is a new Pokemon that many have dubbed the new Landorus-Therian. It acts similarly, as a solid check to many physical threats, a great utility Pokemon with moves such as Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, and Knockoff, and it can also be a threatening presence with its high attack stat and even options like Body Press on bulkier sets. Great Tusk is certainly a huge competitor for Landorus-Therian that might remain the superior ground-type utility Pokemon. Landorus-Therian's type profile and its access to Intimidate will still be very good. It will answer things that Great Tusk can't, including Great Tusk itself, and will also be more well suited as a Choice Scarf Pokemon with its access to U-turn. Many Landorus-Therian sets didn't even use these lost options, and they will still be able to function just the same. It's just that now Landorus-Therian won't be able to do absolutely everything. If you want a bulky ground type with the utility of item removal and hazard removal, you should run Great Tusk. If you want a bulky ground type that is more effective as a pivot, thanks to its typing, Intimidate, and U-turn, you'll go with Landorus-Therian. The loss of options here gives more of a reason to use alternatives, and I think it helps each of these Pokemon to stand out and have more defined roles. This reworking of movesets is a good step in the right direction. Like I said earlier, so many good defensive Pokemon having knockoff could get pretty annoying in the past. In Gen 9, having access to knockoff in your moveset is a bigger deal and will set you apart. Gen 9 is also a new world where Pokemon can terrestrialize into new types. Landorus-Therian having the ability to terrestrialize into a type like water to remove its previous weaknesses is honestly a frightening concept. The way we handle these returning beasts is going to be a bit different in Gen 9, and it'll be interesting to see who can abuse Terra the best. I'm sure Landorus-Therian will still be excellent and see high usage in competitive singles, and I think that these changes are positive ones. But what do you think? Will the loss of these great utility options hurt the viability of this classic competitive Pokemon? Will Great Tusk overtake Landorus-Therian in usage? What returning Pokemon are you looking forward to using again in Gen 9? And what would you like me to talk about next? Let me know down below in the comments. And thank you for watching. Check out my second channel, linked in the pinned comment, for Showdown ladder gameplay videos. Like this video and subscribe to the channel for more informative content about Gen 9 competitive singles. Thank you to the patrons. If you'd like to see a team that you built feature in one of my videos, or request a video topic for me to cover, take a look at my Patreon link in the description for more information.
The money got different, cause of what I'm spending. The money got different,
oh, it's
cause of what
Megaphone!
I'm spending.
Whoa,
The money
KO
got
by one
different,
hit! It
cause
scattered
of what
spike!
I'm spending. The money got different, cause of what I'm spending.